Hello and welcome all to the Time Traveler's Tavern, where there's tales from it and other things. Yeah, I said things. Alright, I will be your navigator and captain, Deadpaw, taking you on this informative journey. Informative of what? We still don't know. But that's why we have our wonderful net guru and all-around frumpy, colorful commentary provided by my good friend Toast.
I'm closer to white bread than rye.
Fair enough. And over to the other side, we have Mr.E. Not as an ecstasy. It's more of a pun on mystery, not Mr. and E. Alright, Mr.E. in the studio with us today.
Indeed.
Alright, today we're going to go down a traveling line of science and fiction, or science fiction, or fictional science, and all that kind of good stuff. So, back to the mention, the Hapless Wanderer.
Yeah.
I went over to a friend's house. I was enlightened to the fact that they had about 100-some acres.
Okay.
Of which they've probably explored about 3. So I was told, yeah, go ahead. You can go and explore. Don't care. You might want to take a gun with you, though. Why? Fair.
Where was this at?
Middle of nowhere, northern Wisconsin.
Oh, so you would have ended up running into, what, black bear, right?
There's brown up there too, I think.
Is there?
Doesn't matter, sounds racist.
I left my wallet at home.
Just tying it all together.
But no, so...
With duct tape.
Don't tie bears with duct tape.
So anyways, as I'm wandering through the woods, rifle over my shoulder.
Or cubs.
It was actually really quite fun. I felt like I was in Fallout or something, just wandering through with the gun, post-apocalyptic, because I keep running across like rusted-out old cars. In the middle of the woods. Interesting.
Oh, so Shiner cars. Moonshine runners.
I was going to say, possibly, you don't know. So, walking through.
They would run off of moonshine, apparently, because they could get their stuff so pure that it would burn like gasoline. So, if they got chased, they'd just run till they were out of gas.
Yeah.
Because they were transporting it in the gas tank.
As I'm walking through, I come across a group of probably about a dozen of these cars. All together. All together. And I walk over, and I do that moment of, I wonder what happened here. As I'm looking at the cars, I start seeing daylight through the doors and and windshields. Yeah, they were all riddled with bullets. I did that moment of, people could be out here just shooting things and all that. And I look inside and I see casings on the floors. And I see I'll look at it just to see how old these bullet holes might be. They were old. About as fresh as the car was.
So you're guessing Thompson gun?
They were all 45s.
They could be Tommy gun, then.
So, like I said, I'm crawling through these cars, looking through things, this, that, and, it's like nothing really there. Everything's rotted out. And I get to the last car. I pull back the seat because it was off of its mountings.
Yeah.
And I just kind of moved the seat. As weird as it was, I was immensely pleased and fascinated because there was a broken hand underneath where the seat was. You could see where the tibia, that's the leg. Ulna? Radius? Yeah, ulna and radius were shattered. Somebody had their arm blown off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's that moment of, wow, that's neat.
I'm assuming you didn't disturb it further.
No, I left it. I didn't touch it. I backed away to the moment of, I'm not going to mess with it, but I should probably tell somebody about this.
I was going to say, did you tell someone about it?
I told the house owner because it's his responsibility or his whatever, and he's like, neat, I'll have to go and take a picture. Left it at that. Never looked it up again. He's like, because I asked him, did you go talk to the police or anything about it? He's like, why? It's like 60 years old. Fair enough, they probably already knew. I don't know what happened in the middle of the woods. I just knew something didn't go well for at least one person.
Yeah, hey. I would assume for each of the owners of those cars.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, speaking of sketchy things...
Gangster hideouts in northern Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Well, I know that Machine
Dillinger,
Gun...
Babyface.
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly visited up here often, to my understanding.
One of the...
Kelly was a scary individual, too.
I'm trying to remember. It was I want to say it was one of the ladies my dad worked with. Her dad was actually a mob doctor for Al Capone.
Yeah.
But it was never in any of the... Suppose it was never in any of his ledgers for anything, because he was their fallback. That moment of things have gone so poorly that they call him in, but because he already had a family, they didn't want to get him involved.
Yeah. So everything had gone, well, we'll say to the sewage plant.
We'll go back and do another callback. snafu or foobarred.
Yes, yes.
On that note of things, my great-grandmother apparently used to hide Dillinger in her basement.
Mom or dad's side?
Mom's side.
Okay.
There were pictures of them together in the basement.
Pictures of them together or pictures of them together?
I'm just saying there's a possibility that he's my great-granddaddy. It exists. It's probably very unlikely. But it's funny to look back and go, that could have happened.
Well, I grew up north of here in Fond du Lac, and they've got a bar that it might still be named Dillinger's. And it was supposedly so named because he frequented that specific speakeasy. They actually used to have bullets where Kelly had come through trying to get him.
Yeah.
And they had him framed on the wall. Not the bullets, but the bullet holes. They just took a blank frame and put it around the bullet hole. Kelly was a scary individual, though, because he liked to take his bullets, rub the bullet end of them in garlic. Do you know why?
Not particularly.
To encourage gangrenous infection.
Fair enough.
This is what I'm saying. This guy is saying, even if I win you might die.
He's just trying to be thorough. He's a planner. Tactician.
Scary.
But yeah, no, there's all sorts of fun history. Like, again, on my mom's side, apparently one of my ancestors was an admiral of fair repute in the Civil War.
I'm sorry, you said admiral?
Admiral.
Okay. Because what I had heard was admiral, and I was like, what the hell is that?
A little stuffed up.
Yeah.
Sinuses.
Admiral.
Yes, Admiral. Union Army.
In what war?
Civil.
So in the Civil War?
Civil War.
North or South side?
Union. Civil. North.
Oh, okay. I missed that part somehow.
One of the guys I used to work with, he was actually researching his ancestors, and he found out that what was it? It was something like 3/4 of his family or something like that was part of a single unit in the Civil War.
Yeah.
And he's like, and that's why, it was so devastating. That was before they decided to break it up.
Yeah.
So a single military unit could completely clear out an entire town. If things went wrong and the entire unit was killed,
Yeah.
that entire town was dead.
Yeah.
Because now there's no one to come back.
Right. Is that how we ended up with Ghost Town?
Possibly.
Probably not. A lot of ghost towns are due to other economic forces.
Yeah.
Such as mining and what have you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mining rushes, gold, silver, copper, dries
What I'm
up.
saying is that we've got a couple ghost towns in where we're at, don't we?
Possibly. Some of those would be lumber.
Ah, okay.
Lumber camps.
Fair enough.
Which, again, you'd find further north.
Like so many other things, I know I have family up north of Green Bay, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
That they were worried about the Timberwolves because apparently they started traveling further and further south.
Yeah. There was a ban, understandably, on the wolf population for conservation reasons.
Right.
And then they kind of exploded.
Yes.
So they've actually been giving out limited hunting permits
Yeah.
for the wolf population control.
Yes, Mr. Toast.
There's an entire list of ghost towns in Wisconsin.
That's what I thought.
So I picked the first one. It's that one. Do we feel like going to Iowa County in Wisconsin?
Yes, we do.
When are we leaving?
It's over there.
That's not bad.
When are we leaving?
What was that, like 2 hours?
Possibly.
Still worth it.
Oh, that's nothing.
Hell,
Not even a full tank of gas. round trip.
I'd want to take my kid.
I'd go for other reasons.
Right. I'm saying I would want to take her. Doesn't mean I'm going to.
Yeah.
Just means, there's a part of me that goes, this would be interesting for her. And then there's the other part of me that goes, and after 5 minutes she'd be bored.
So I'm that kind of guy who, in that sort of setting, would do that moment of, what can we all get in?
Oh yeah, I know where you're going with that, and I fully agree. Let's do it.
Urban exploration.
Indeed. But more than that.
Yeah.
So,
Lots of motions were made in pantomime,
Yes.
which is really good for good radio.
but importantly, there's a reason why. We're not recording ourselves on video yet. Well, for this.
Maybe you're not recording yourself on video.
Are you saying I'm on candid camera?
No, the NSA has tapped us.
Oh.
Hi, guys!
No,
they're
the
scowling at me again.
Yeah, they're in the light fixture, aren't they?
Which one? Oh, that's why I got different lighting down here. They were complaining it was too dark.
Yeah, back to dark.
I thought that was about our humor.
You know, in hindsight, could be it.
So back to sketchy thing. I actually had something for that as well.
Is it art?
I had a scammer call me today on my cell phone.
I thought she called you on the shells.
Claiming that they were a representative of Publishers Clearinghouse. This dude, his name was Mr. Green. First off, as best I could tell, he was using some sort of voice filter.
I just have to ask this for thorough and intensive purposes. Was there a guy named Mr. Pink Screaming? Okay.
Still haven't watched that movie.
But
Where's
anyway,
Mr. Orange? I don't remember.
He made the claim that I was the winner of not one but two prizes, a cashier's check for $2.5 million.
And you went, ha! I don't have that luck.
And I said, uh-huh. And he said, in addition to that, I've won a secondary bonus prize of $2,000 per week for life.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so already I know.
Thick.
Yeah, already I know this guy's trying to scam me, but I'm a bit of an actor, I'd like to say. So I kept him on. I kept him on the line. His goal was to keep me on the line to try and scam me. My goal was to keep him on the line to ply him for information.
Or you're just very lonely.
That looks pretty.
You know, if you're going to interrupt, pick a different person to interrupt.
Oh, come on, Ellie came in the back door. I left that open for you.
I know that's your preference. I think we should be glad you're a two-pump chump. Anyway, so this guy tried to get me to go to a Western Union and send to one Kelena Mitchell $485.
And 36 cents.
Nope. Just $485. Now, the reason I find that interesting is because of the fact that that was the amount I used to pay for rent once upon a time. But here's where he wanted me to send it. Jamaica.
Jamaica bomb.
I'm not kidding about this.
Oh, I'm too stuffed.
Now, of course, I knew this guy had to be a scammer, but that's all the information I got out of him, other than the phone number that's still residing within my phone. I plan to turn all of this information over to Publishers Clearinghouse. But it made, for me, the very interesting question of why do people fall for these scams?
Desperation. Loneliness.
Indeed.
Oh! Speaking of loneliness. Have to go here. So, a while back, my stellar and wonderfully intelligent brother, just starting there, fell for one of those scams.
Was he Russian?
Like
It's an email scam.
like I'm referring to?
Email.
Okay. Nigerian prince?
Sort of.
Oh, really?
A woman.
Okay.
They had traded email for I don't know how long.
Uh-huh.
And eventually, she's like, I want to come over. I want to meet you. You know, we can do this, that, the other thing. It's like, but due to this, that, and the other thing, or circumstances where she couldn't purchase through and all that kind of stuff, so he had to send her money to purchase the plane tickets.
Uh-huh.
And the amazingly intelligent person that my brother is actually did it.
He actually wired her the money.
He actually sent the money, actually went through and waited at the friggin' airport for her to arrive. When she never arrived, he tried to contact her again. No contact any further.
Yeah. Sure.
So he lost his African princess.
Uh-huh.
One of my cousins did the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, except for it wasn't once. It was like 3 times.
He fell for the same thing 3 times.
Every time he'd send her money, and it was, I can't make it this time, and the tickets are non-refundable.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the 5 reasons people fall for scams. Back in
1906, I had myself a
1990
old steel.
1996. It's pretty easy to steal money from people on the internet. Really?
Apparently.
You had to do that next to the microphone.
Looks like a
Apparently.
good sound effect.
Anyway.
On one hand, I didn't think it was going to be loud.
Really?
It's a tea.
It's a can.
If I put a Mountain Dew, it won't be that loud. Give me a Mountain Dew. I'll show you.
No, because I don't want to
No.
give you a Mountain Dew.
More than that, we're not letting you open any more cans near the microphone. Go sit back in your corner.
There's a corner here, too. You can sit there.
Oh.
It's a short stool.
Just like him.
We call him Toady for short. Why did I go that way? I don't know.
Let's keep the Amazing Toad.
Was it the
You are now the Amazing Toad.
No.
Is it better than Piggly?
I don't know.
I would say yes.
Less derogatory, maybe.
Yeah.
Piggly.
So, back in 1996, it was pretty easy to steal money from people on the internet. You put an item on sale on a site, or for sale on a site like eBay. You took the people's money. You never sent the thing they bought. And really, that's the first internet scam story I wrote almost 20 years ago. I'm quoting verbatim from Money Talks News, by the way.
Good estimate, right?
Scams have become a lot more sophisticated since then, but two things have remained incredibly constant during the past 2 decades. First, victims are almost always sent money using a method that offers no recourse, such as wiring funds. And then I write a chorus about too clever by half people who...
All right, so on that wonderful note of fact, validation, and verification, any other shuns we should add to here? No? All right. Skipping over his thoughts here, we're going to farm this out, and Mr.E, would you like to bid adieu?
Until next time.
There you go. On a good web guru toast.
What?
Parting words.
If you're using a comb, make sure you go the right direction.
That would be a good parting word. All right, and this is your captain, not of a Boeing, just of a dead paw. Thank you for joining the, what is this? Tales from the Time Traveler's Tavern? Apparently that's what we are. Thank you for joining. So that's it.